Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. Alright everyone, welcome to a recommendations video, and in the lead up to May, I want to try to get out a few videos for you that the oddly specific trope or the broad trope, whatever it is, lines up with some of the prompts for the readathons I have coming up, but also they'll just be great rec videos even if you're not participating in any of the readathons in May. But one of the prompts that is actually for both readathons is an assassin recommendation. Okay, so in the Mafia readathon, this is one of the oddly specific recs, and in the Ever Afterathon, Assassin is one of the specific prompts to the Spy team, which is mine. For Spy, our three main tropes are Enemies to Lovers, Assassin, and Rendezvous Tryst. And I wanted to hit Assassin since it covers both. So I will say though, Ever Afterathon is kind of weighted towards historical romance, but all the books that you read in the month you will get points for to go towards the readathon. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just saying. Whereas in my Mafia readathon, which is just one of the weekends in May, Assassin is just worth 2 extra bonus points. But it's also something that a lot of people love. So I will say this recommendation video for me, we basically excuse me, I have 2 historicals and all the rest are Mafia, so I'm probably going to call this one dark, because even the ones that are historical, they're a bit darker focused. This is also a bit of a compilation of some previous videos I've done before, so I have a whole list actually of, I think I've made 4 assassin videos before, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these books pop up on those, but you know what? It is new time to do that. What? That didn't make any sense. Those words were weird together. It is time to freshen it up and remind you of some of those. That's what I want to say. As well as add a few new ones on there that weren't there before. So without further ado, let's get into these. I'm going to start with the 2 historicals and then I'll move into the Mafia / dark romance that has assassins in it. Just to clarify as well, assassin / hitman is what we're working here. Basically, someone who's sent to kill someone else. Sometimes it's their long-term job, as I'll say with a few of them, like this is what they do regularly. And some of them, it's like a one-time case where they're like assigned to kill, as it were. So we're going to start this off with my actual team's recommendation for the readathon. It's one of my favorite dark historical romances, actually. And this one is Her Villain by S.M. LaViolette. We just got to get this out there. This one is actually an erotic historical romance that is about David Remington, who is very much psychopathic, okay? And he has a job that makes him he works for the Crown. He's an agent of the Crown. And he has a basically assassin mission that he's supposed to pull off. And during that time, he meets Calliope Fowler, who he basically hires to be his live-in mistress for a short period of time. Now, there's a lot leading up to this. Callie is actually trying to get back. Is she trying to go to the United States? I can't remember where she's trying to go to, actually. But she's trying to leave London, and all of the money she has saved up from working in a brothel that she's been a part of has been stolen by her roommate. And when the brothel is closed down, she has nothing. She's been saving up this money so she could, get out of sex work. She doesn't want to be doing it long term. And, she has the choice taken from her, unfortunately. And so when the opportunity to work for David and make a significant amount of money, she takes it. And he's a bit of a psychopath and a bit of a prick, let's just say, but he finds her very beautiful, and he finds being in control of her and getting her to do some desperate things for him in exchange for money, he finds very titillating, let's just say. And he likes having that power over her. So he's called the villain for a reason. This isn't some perfect man. And I even think when you get to the end of the story and you see how things end between them, you might even be a little bit conflicted, which I find interesting about it. But I love this book. It was actually one of the books I had in one of my very first quarterly book boxes that I did because I loved it so much. So there's that. Okay, now the other one, which again, you've probably, if you read historical romance for a long time, you've probably heard of this one. But I'm telling you, when I was putting together, I was trying to find and make this video half and half. I have only read 2 historical romances with assassins, and I was actually shocked. Like, I was shocked about that. But that's where we're at. And some of my co-hosts have had recommendations that are for more. But and maybe I'll have to look at those to add to my TBR. But this is what I got. So there's The Hunter by Kerrigan Byrne. And I adore this book. So, I mean, I'm not sad to be recommending it. I'm just sad I didn't have more recs. So, this one has Christopher Argent, who lives in the shadows of the Empire's most elite assassins. So, this is someone else who's also a bit psychopathic. But for him, it's more that he's turned off his emotion. And he gets assigned to kill Millicent LaCour because she was at one point, I believe it's because she was the mistress of a man at a certain point. I can't quite remember the reasoning there. But when he goes to kill her, he is stunned by her beauty. Like, let's just straight up say it. So he attempts actually to kill her 2 different times. One time he's just straight up fails. And the second time, when he's trying to go through with it, she throws herself upon his mercy and begs him not to kill her, and says that she is a mother. Please don't take me away from her, from my child. She doesn't have a girl. She has a boy. And so she puts herself at his mercy. And he he doesn't kill her, obviously. But he knows that the people who hired him to kill her will just hire someone else. So he ends up kind of gently / forcefully actually kind of kidnapping her to stay with him until he can finish up this business about who is trying to kill her. So yeah, I love this one. Very sexy, very intense. This whole series from her, what is this series? The Victorian, I forgot the name. This one doesn't have the series name in it yet. But really, really, really great one. And this is the second book in a series. The Highwayman is first. But you can definitely jump into The Hunter because it's not deeply connected with the other ones at all. So, highly recommend. Okay, next I have a rec that isn't a Mafia one. A couple of them aren't, but this one definitely involves a assassination attempt or a hitman attempt in the beginning of it. So this is The Imperfections, and it's one of Sam Mariano's more less known books. But I really love this one. So this one is about Brantley Morrison, who is a solver of problems and a collector of mutts. He's kind and loyal and hardworking unless you get on the bad side, his bad side. And then we have Alyssa Walton, who never meant to find herself on his bad side. And she'd never even met him until he showed up to kill her. And so Brant is actually on more of, he sees it as a problem-solving mission. And this girl, Alyssa, had gotten on, mixed up with, I think it was his brother-in-law, and she could cause problems for his sister and the family. And so Brant is like, well, I'll just take her out, and it'll be fine. It'll be no big deal. I'll be able to do it. But when he actually is going to kill her, he can't go through with it. But he does. He's still not a perfectly nice man, though, because she basically offers to let him fuck her to keep him from killing her. And he's like, you know what? Why don't I just take you and keep you, and I can fuck you whenever I want. And, you know, if you ever displease me, I will kill you. So, not the nicest man ever. But once he has stolen her and taken her for himself, he very quickly is realizing that it's not going to be as simple as just killing her when he's done with her. So, I didn't say he wasn't a complex or fun guy. But that's what Sam Mariano does best. And speaking of her, this is another one from her. And yes, this one is a Christmas novel, but it's a pretty fun one, and it's a quick read for the most part if you want to do it for either readathon. And this is How the Hitman Stole Christmas by Sam Mariano. And this does have a particularly fun little connection to the Sam Mariano's Mafia series, if you've read that. If you haven't read that, it's totally fine. This is about a random guy, but you will recognize a few connections to the Morellis if you have read those. So this one is, I'll just read the back of it. It's Jasper. I didn't plan to kidnap her. I was just doing a good deed. I saw a car stranded on the side of the road in the middle of a snowstorm and decided to help. I didn't expect to get anything out of it. Even criminals can do nice things every once in a while. When I approached the driver, my motives were as pure as the snowflake clinging to the silky strands of her long dark hair. Her tire had popped, and she didn't know how to change it. Clearly, the damsel was in distress. Unfortunately for her, I was no white knight. Now I'm a decisive man. Once I make a decision, it's pretty much a done deal. And it didn't take me long to decide Autumn was going home with me for the holidays, whether she wants to or not. I was prepared for stealing Autumn to change my plans, but I wasn't prepared for her to be such a quick study. I may be the one who stole a girlfriend for Christmas, but if I'm not careful, this pretty little snowflake just might steal my heart. So this is one where he's a hitman for the mafia, but he's not sent to kill her. He comes across her, and he decides she will make the perfect girlfriend for him to take home for Christmas. And so he kidnaps her and doesn't give her any choice. And yeah, it's one of the lighter books. But that doesn't mean it isn't dark. And that doesn't mean you still shouldn't enter it with caution, because it's still Sam Mariano, and there's probably going to be some not so consensual things completely all the way through. But it's definitely a bit lighter than anything else you've read from her. And, you know, you don't really feel like Autumn's in danger at any point, even if it is absolutely ridiculous that this hitman decided to take her out, or take her to Christmas, which is wild. Let's do a female assassin. So, this is a book I actually discovered a while back. And I actually read this one for my Patreon. It was one of our books of the month. And this one is a dark Bratva romance, so it'll work for that. And it's also a female assassin. So in this one, we have our heroine. This will also probably be a new to me author to most people. Sorry, I throw that out there. And so let me read the blurb for this one as well. So, for 7 years, I tried to feel. For 7 years, I tried to push the abyss of my past behind me. For 7 years, I chased adrenaline, betted man after man, succumbed to the darkness that had consumed my soul. 7 years later, I had no idea how far I could still fall. It wasn't until my best friend, my only friend, asked me to do a job, my mark, tall, dark, and dangerous. He was the head of the West Coast Russian Bratva, one of the most powerful men in the world. Two shadowed souls drawn to each other, seeking a light that has been ripped away from us. But there are people much more dangerous in our world, and they found us. For 7 years, I tried to bury something within me that might be our only way to survive. 7 years later, they're going to wish I had died. So this one is a female assassin in a bit of like a different way as well, because I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but either way, she's the one trying to pull over something on her mark. who is a mafia guy, a Brava guy. And let's just say she plays quite innocent on purpose. She plays the damsel in distress to lure him in. And she's definitely not so innocent. Let's just say that. So, but yeah, really, really fun one. And I enjoyed it a lot. Fun is maybe the wrong word. I shouldn't always use that as an explanation for these. Okay. One from Jagger Cole. This is a quick one, actually. It's a novella. And this one's called The Hitman's Obsession. Now, this is book 1 in like a trilogy, I think, of novellas. And 2 of them actually have Hitman in the title for it. But this one is the Scalami crime family. And yeah, let me read this one as well. This one is only novella length. So a really great one to get this, to check off this trope, and be on to the next one. So this one is, I was born into a dark kingdom. I'm a mob princess, a pretty little flower in a gilded cage. No boys ever climbed my tower. No men ever got through the walls built around me. No one except Vincent Cave. My bodyguard, my shadow, my gruff, silent, watchful guardian angel. A teddy bear to me, but a savage to anyone who'd seek to harm me. First he was my innocent crush, and then it wasn't so innocent. 11 years older and utterly gorgeous, eyes that make my knees weak, arms I could get lost in, and lips that mine want to taste, since I knew what lips could do that. Okay. I'm back after 3 years away at boarding school, and I thought that would cure me, but there's no cure for Vincent Cave, not when 3 years have made him hardened, growlier, and even more irresistible. When the danger he always shielded me from comes calling, it's Vincent and me alone on the run. I've grown up, he's noticed, and it was just a crush, but now it's dangerous. So, all right, Jagger, not your best way to explain that one, but I also had described it as bodyguard turned lover, but it's listed as a hitman, so he apparently does some hit job work for the mafia as well. So we put it in here because it's called The Hitman, but I think that one was a bit more bodyguard than anything else. But anyway, moving on, another one that's absolutely classic. This series itself also has 2 books that have assassins or hitmen in it, and they also hit a lot of other tropes in the Mafia readathon anyway. And of course, that's Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geisinger. I've talked about this book a million times. Many people have probably already read this one. However, this one involves another case of he's sent to kill her, and instead he falls for her. So this one is Kaz and Natalie, or Cage and Natalie. Sorry, I want to call him Kaz, but it's Cage and Natalie. And yes, he is sent to kill her, and he ends up falling for her. That's what it is. It's the start of a fantastic series. The other one that also has assassin is Savage Hearts. Also has one where he's supposed to kill, he's actually sent to kill Declan, but ends up falling for Declan's sister-in-law. So, great one there. Okay, then we got to throw out another one that I love telling you what they overlap with. This one will overlap with LGBTQ, as well as, I think this one also has the age gap in it as well. But of course I have to share Unhinged by Onley James. And this entire series is actually like assassin / hitman. It is this family of 7 young men who have been turned into serial killers, and they are supposed to kill bad guys, but sometimes they want revenge as well. So anyway, the first book in this series is Unhinged, as I mentioned, but Necessary Evils is the whole series. And this one is, Adam Mulvaney lives a double life. By day, he's a spoiled youngest son of an eccentric billionaire, and by night, he's an unrepentant killer, one of 7 psychopaths raised to right the wrongs of a justice system that keeps failing. Noah Holt has spent years dreaming of vengeance for the death of his father, but when faced with his killer, he learns a daunting truth he can't escape. His father was the monster. Unable to ignore his own surfacing memories, Noah embarks on a quest to find truth about his childhood with the help of an unlikely ally, the very person who murdered his father. Since their confrontation, Adam is obsessed with Noah, and he wants to help him uncover the answers he seeks, however dark they may be. The two share a mutual attraction, but deep down, Noah knows Adam's not like other boys. Adam can't love. He wasn't born that way, but he refuses to let Noah go, and Noah's not sure he wants him to. So yeah, this one is, I'm remembering now too, it's been a while since I've read these actually. Adam and the Mulvaneys are the family that kills, but Noah is actually there to get info from him and kill him if he needs to. But yeah, this is the beginning of the series, and oh man, that's such a good series. I love those ones so much. All right, next, very excited to show this off because I think it's so beautiful. So beautiful. What's the other side look like? That's right. I should flip those around sometime. Anyway, there's Hans by S.J. Tilley. Yes, this is my gorgeous, gorgeous, I think this is Mystic Box, if I'm correct. Yes. And one of my patrons actually gifted me this whole set of these. Let me just show you the other side. This is the Hans right here. This was actually also just got released in the stores too. It also has cookies and boots, and I just love it. So anyway, in this one, Hans is a assassin, and he's also next door neighbors to look how sexy he is. He's also next door neighbors to Cassie. And she bakes him goods and leaves them on his front porch. Only they taste horrible. Only Hans can't help himself because he doesn't want to waste anything that this woman bakes for him, even when it tastes absolutely horrible. So yes, Hans is an assassin for this group who takes out human traffickers. So he will often be called away to work to take a job and kill one of these baddies. But when someone actually comes and tries to destroy his home, Cassie gets caught in the crossfire, and now she gets introduced to his crazy world. So these are very unhinged men in this series, but they are absolute teddy bear pooch for their women, okay? This man is so far gone for Cassie. It is sickening. It's amazing. All of S.J. Tilley's heroines are plus size, so there's also that to it. And I can't remember which organized crime this guy is a part of. This one might have to fit into organized crime of any kind, because this one is technically a, he is with a syndicate of some kind, so I don't know that he fits into one of the main categories, but this is definitely still a mafia hitman, for sure. Okay, and then the last one I want to remember, this one is a blast from the past for sure, but this one hits a lot of things, okay? Because this one also has I forgot what it's called. Why won't my brain work? An interracial relationship, and it has some really dark themes to it, which is fun anyway. An Irish American hitman, okay. I don't know if he's a part of the mafia, though, with this one. So I don't know if this one's just dark or not. But anyway, All Things Burn by Jodie Slaughter. I should say the title. This was one that really popped off back in the day. And I really enjoyed it. Not everybody has, okay? Not everybody has, but I enjoyed it quite a bit because I just thought it was so unique. Okay, so let me read the blurb for this one. A woman forced to take dark, desperate measures for the sake of her safety seeks out a man who deals exclusively in doling out death sentences, when sparks between them is just as unavoidable as it is life-changing. What sparks between them? Hallie Temple is a good person. She doesn't know anything as surely as she knows that. A successful black woman who uses her expensive law degree to work full-time at a women's legal aid center, she has no doubt that her entire existence is being spent in the service of others. That perfectly normal life takes a deadly turn, however, when she crosses paths with a man who is willing to go to extreme measures to take possession of her. After he sets his threats on her family, Hallie begins to question every moral she ever held dear, as she realizes that there's only one way to get him out of her life for good. To do that, though, she needs a bit of help. Callum Byrne is an Irish-American hitman who made a life out of robbing others of their own. Darkness has always lurked inside him, and he has no qualms about setting it free, especially for profit. Hallie enters his life suddenly, bringing with her an intensity that he has never felt before. It isn't long before Callum's narrow view of himself is twisted and challenged. As the job she's given him becomes more complicated by the minute, so do Callum's feelings for her. So yeah, she hires him as a hitman, but if I remember correctly, he ends up not wanting to be done with her very quickly, so he finds reasons that he needs to keep meeting up with her before the hit job actually gets done. But yes, she ends up attracting a stalker, and the police won't do anything about it, and so she knows that, you know, being in the women's legal aid too, that's another thing that can't be overlooked. She sees what happens to women that the police don't step in to help. And she refuses to let that happen to her or her loved ones. And that is where hiring a hitman comes about. So there you go. Those are 10 recommendations for assassins/hitmen. And hopefully a lot of those will work for the Mafia readathon or ones you're just interested in reading. And like I said, I only found 2 historical ones, but any of these will work for the spy team, because they don't have to be historical. It's just that you get a bonus point, but you get real big bonus points for like All Things Burn as well as Unhinged, because the different diversity in those ones really gives you a point boost. So I wanted to point those ones out. And really, any of the books in the Unnecessary Evil, that entire series is Hitmen and Enemies to Lovers too. So anywho, thank you so much for watching, my loves. I will see you next time.